welcome to another wonderful episode of Releasing Your Inner Bee. I'm Leslie.
And I'm Cece Lynn.
Welcome. And I hope that you're ready for tonight's episode on divination.
Continuation from the last week's episode.
I practiced that word so many times over the weekend. I just can't talk anymore.
Because it's been a long weekend, but a good one.
So, where we left off, and we won't go too much into detail, where we left off from this last episode.
Yep, we were going to do, weren't able to have the time to continue with our tools of lithomancy, which you're going to go over. And then you brought your chakra cards that we were talking about.
Yes.
And then I was going to show everybody how dowsing rods work.
Fantastic. I'm really excited. And, there's so many tools, and we can keep on going. And we
Absolutely, yeah.
probably will have, one more episode, I think?
Possibly. There's so many different divination things that we could do. Yeah, because we're going to do scrying. You're going to bring your crystal ball.
Oh, yes.
And we'll talk about scrying and black mirrors and how scrying mirrors, which are black mirrors. But yeah, this black cloth will work great for your crystal ball. We'll have to remember to do this again.
We will. And that's something that I haven't had so much practice in, but I think Stacy can probably
we'll still talk about how to do it.
Little something very similar to the dowsing rods. So, you want to just jump in?
I say we jump in because we've already kind of continuation of last week. So, what are lithomancy and how does it work?
Lithomancy. So, lithomancy is another term of reading stones.
We do love stones. Ooh, that one's pretty.
I love this one.
It's so funny because this is my lithomancy set. Look at the difference. Look how little mine are.
I like yours. You're not like this bag gets kind of heavy after a little bit.
But it's so funny.
I like yours. So lithomancy, like I was saying, is a reading of stones. And what I do is I channel into whatever message that Spirit wants me to let that person know, or what's going on within their life. First, it'll give me kind of a broad idea, and then it'll get deeper.
Yeah.
Because then I have to say, okay, wait, hold. This is what they're saying.
Yeah, because like tarot, isn't lithomancy another tool to help keep your thoughts in line? Like the messages coming through are intuitive, but the stones will help you keep your thoughts in line. That's how I think of the tarot cards we talked about last week.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've also learned you have to say the message that Spirit tells you, because I always try to make it understandable, because it doesn't make any sense when I say it, but maybe it does at first.
Right, true, good point.
So, this type of reading, I did some research on this. It goes back to Europe. Now, I'm not sure if it's to the Middle Ages. It might even go beyond that. I know as far back as Egyptians. Egyptians used to do this, and also in Greece, because Helena was able to predict the destruction or fall of Troy by doing lithomancy. She had her own set, and that's what she practiced in order to guide herself. And then in America, most people might look at this as like chicken bones. You can use any type of tool.
Yes.
In Salem, they used sticks. In the South, they used chicken bones, or it's like voodoo, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people refer it to. But like I was saying, you can use any type of tool as long as you can make a representation or give it a meaning behind it. So for example, this rock right here is a meaning of love. So when you throw it, that is what I would have it be. So let me take a few things out here, and then these two are my blanks. Now I have blanks just in case you need a deeper reading, or if there's something else that is on your mind and you need guidance. Last weekend when I was doing some of my readings, there was something on someone's mind, but they didn't want to say it. So I gave them the two blanks, and I said, here you go.
Yep.
each one a meaning, and then whatever, when you throw it out, whichever one is closest to you, that is what's in your heart, or that is what spirit wants you to think about.
Good point.
So let's see here. We had love, money, negative, positive, passion, fire. This is communication.
It's an angelite stone.
This is the one I got here at the shop.
Nice. I like it.
I had an angelite stone before, but when I was doing one of my Reiki sessions, Spirit told me it belonged to them and that they needed it more than I did. So when I lost it, I said, okay, I need another angelite, because this one I feel is a very good communication.
Perfect, yeah.
And then this, so air, communication, spirit, water, emotion. Oh, this is my grounding one. So this is earth and grounding, and these are my 2 blanks.
Nice.
There we go. So, in order to read them, I'll have Stacy pick them up, put her energy into it, and then she'll gently, or
I'll be gentle.
throw them. A lot of people get nervous with them. Stone fight!
It's like I'm playing craps at the casino.
Should actually have like a little box.
My communication's way out in left field. Well, right field.
I wonder why. So how you normally read these is whatever rock is close to, or stone is close to you, is what spirit wants you to think about, or what it has been on your mind. And you can even group them together in order to make the reading, I guess, make sense.
Yeah.
Or whatever is going on. So right now with love and fire, or passion, I should say. I like to.
Just kidding.
I was telling people I like to call that the sex stone.
Notice mine's really close.
So you have a very passionate lover.
Too funny.
That is very funny. Oh, is that what's been on your mind lately?
No. I'm sure Jeff wishes it was.
Let's see. So, passion and love. Now, it doesn't have to be sexual, but it sounds like that you have some type of a passion that.
There's a lot of creativity moving about in my life right now, trying to line things up, put things. I'm trying to make my ideas come to life. That is my main focus right now in my meditations, and when I'm trying to find my center, it's to clear myself to know that right there. So I'm not surprised. That's my foundation right now.
That is fantastic, because that is what I was going to say. It doesn't have to be sexual. A lot of people like to think that.
I know, but it's fun to
that
think
is
it.
love and passion. But it can be your work. It can be something that you're starting to become passionate, a hobby. And then your love for it. So that's what it means, is that there's something that you're very passionate about in your life at the moment that you're directing towards it, and you're loving every single moment of it. Yeah. It's not like a 9-to-5 job where you're dredging, going in and clocking in, or just something that it tugs on you and you know that there's something wrong. You are throwing everything into yourself on that.
Perfect.
Yeah, near communication. I don't know why it's out here, but I have a feeling with this out here, it's least thing that you're worried about. You're able to express yourself without having it to be in the forefront of your mind. You can speak easily without any worry. Yeah. And that's something that they want you to not worry about. That you can just easily have that connection and be able to speak your mind without anything negative. Without anything, well, I should say negative, positive, or any worry. You're not afraid to speak your mind.
Right. I have a big mouth. Just kidding. I like to talk.
I want to go here more for the grounding. So you are grounded emotionally?
I think so. I could be wrong, but I think so.
And with the negative that's near kind of the grounding, or the no, I should say, I wouldn't say it's negative. I would just say that you do not let any negative emotions into your life, and that you're very well grounded and you're able to block that. Does seep in every once in a while. That goes into your head, and you do dwell upon it, but it's not in the forefront. It's kind of more in the back of your mind, but they're telling you don't worry about it. You are very well grounded emotionally, and you're able to block the negative thoughts.
I just had this conversation with Jeff. We were leaving to go away this weekend to the Magical Marketplace, and he said something, and he goes, I don't even understand it. You never get riled up. It was funny the way he said it. Like, and I do. But I get what he was saying. Like, I wasn't stressed about leaving. I don't stress about, like, I don't let anything mess up my feeling grounded. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Where he's like, how can you be so calm? We gotta get this, and we gotta get that, we gotta get this. And I'm just like, I don't know, we'll buy it if we have to, I guess, if we forgot something, you know what I mean?
And apparently you did. I heard some stories that happened.
Yes, Jeff
some
was not feeling
craziness.
grounded.
Oh, I felt so bad.
But yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, because some people look at the no or the negative and they're like, oh no, that's going to
Well, no.
push something away, but it's not that at all. It's very similar to the death card in tarot. Whenever you draw that, it's not negative at all. It just means that there is a brand new beginning, and whatever is happening in your life, it will end.
Transforming.
Exactly. So, like I said, you're able to block the negativity, and you are very well grounded, but it's not in the forefront of what you are. Money and spirit. That's an interesting one.
It's probably because I do make money off some of my stuff. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
So emotion and then positive. So, my goodness. So how I would read this is you will have a profit with spirit, and it'll be positive.
It's funny because I have been practicing and teaching people, whether it's the life coaching or the readings or teaching people how to do it or whatever. And I've always fought with making money off of it. Because I feel like, well, it's spiritualism. How dare I make money off of it? But if I don't make money, I can't do it, because you need money to take care of your needs here in this world. So it's just funny. This is a nice, more than you realize, this is a message I need to let me know that money and spirit is positive. Like, I need to know money and spiritualism is okay.
Yes.
So it's just, you may not even know how important that little message was.
And that was so basic. I didn't go into great detail. She already knows what she
I
needs
knew what
to
it was.
know.
Yep. It's confirmation for me.
Yay!
Even stories I've written in books that are ready to go, I fight with it. So
I know.
it's funny.
And because the positive, I think, is closer to you, I would say that's more in the forefront of your mind, or they want you to know it is absolutely positive. It is okay.
Yep.
Especially with the spirit. So the positivity with the spirit, and then money behind it.
Yeah.
I would take it within that order of
Perfect.
positive, you're connected, and that you need to feel okay.
Yeah, I love it. That's
So there you go.
lithomancy.
That's lithomancy. And it's so funny because, like I said, not very many people know about this. When I was in the reader room at the Magical Marketplace this last weekend, sorry we missed y'all, but we will have another booth
Next year.
soon, next year. But we will have other activities as well, and we'll keep you updated on upcoming classes.
Yep.
So when I was there, a lot of people hadn't heard what I do, so they were actually very surprised. There were stone readers, but not lithomancy readers. What's the difference between a stone reader and a lithomancy reader?
I think lithomancy is just the style of the reading. So each stone or object, because again, you don't have to use a stone. You could use bones, you could use shells, you could use pieces of bread, as long as you know what each one represents, right? So lithomancy, I think, is just another way where people who do just stone readings, and they'll have this huge, like, plate, we'll say, or bowl of stones, and the person kind of paws through it and digs around and pulls out stones that call to them, and then based upon the stone type that the person pulls, the reader of the stones will be able to say it. So if you're digging out and I'm like, this one calls my name, and I know Angelite is being able to hear clearer messages through your angels, right? Your spirit guides.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the stone lady would say, or stone gentleman, doesn't have to be stone lady, stone gentleman would say, okay, obviously your spirits are trying to tell you something, you need to open up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Then they pick, say, a rose quartz or whatever the number is. They say that the person intuitively picks the energy of the stone that they need, and then the person who's reading the stones will tell them what they need based upon what they picked. Isn't that fun?
Oh, that is.
Yeah. You just need to really know your stones, you know, and usually you got to have quite this display of them to pick. And then some people who do the stone readings will have like bigger stones, and for them that bigger amethyst means something else, and so they do their own energy work with their stones, and then they kind of know what their stones mean, and the person. So instead of us saying, hey, this means communication, this means grounding, this means passion, this means love, we say what these stones mean. Person rolls them like dice, and then we read them based upon where they landed. It's like the other way around. The person picks the stones, and then they pick the stones, and we read the stones because they were drawn to that energy for a reason.
Oh,
Isn't that fun?
That's
Sorry.
really awesome.
That was like very long. Like, I hope that made sense.
That did.
Okay, good.
That
I'm
made
sorry, 'cause you're
that
vigilant.
made that made complete sense.
Yeah,
And
that's fun. Yeah, so that's what they. So even when you go into any type of stone store, or hey, you're wandering around here, if you're keep being drawn to the same stone, even if you can't afford it or you're not there to shop and you're not able to get it, figure out what stone it is and what's the meaning behind it. Because whether or not you buy the stone, the energy of the stone is drawn to you because it feels a gap in your energy or your spirit that it needs to heal. So you learn a lot by what stones you're drawn to.
And how do you know that you are drawn to that?
Because you'll just keep, people will keep walking by, just picking it up. Like, oh my God, I love that. That's so cool. I'm so into like amethyst right now, or I'm so into rose quartz right now, or every time you go somewhere, you just keep picking up the rose quartz flame. Pay attention, because maybe there's something about self-love you need to work on. So
I just got chills.
So yeah.
So
I am going to
that's-
offer some of those here at the Underground Minerals, where people can go into my healing room and just kind of figure out what stone they want. Do you know what I mean? And then we can sit and meditate with that stone without having them having to purchase it. Does that make sense? I want these to be where you can come in, feel the crystal room. That's why I'm working so hard to get that thing full.
You hear that, viewers? You
So
can
that'll
come
be
and
a cool
play.
thing that Underground Minerals will be offering soon.
Come play with our stones.
Yeah, because, you know, of course some people want to buy them, but they don't have to. The ones in my crystal room will be for healing.
Right.
Anyway, what's next?
I'm very happy we actually touched upon that, because that was one of my talking questions. Because when I was doing the lithomancy, that's what I was overhearing was stones and the energy that stones hold, and why do you choose them? So that was something that was rolling around in my head, because there's sometimes when I think I need it, but do I really need it?
Sometimes just going in and browsing through a stone store, you'll get what you need without even not that I don't want people to purchase stuff at our stone store, but you know what I'm saying. Pay attention. You know, you can pick up your phone real quick and Google the spiritual meaning or the healing of that stone. So.
Or if you are here in the store, you can always ask Stacy, and she'll be able to help you
I
out.
even got a cheat sheet chart.
So how about you bring out your lithomancy set?
Oh yeah, my lithomancy set. These are my little baby stones. I like to keep things in a selenite bowl, because selenite is a stone that actually clears away any unwanted energies. And when the person holds them before they throw them, they are supposed to fill them full of their energy. But before I start, I always have each stone represent something different. So like this one means love, but see how it's a rose quartz and it's a little heart. I know it's hard to see. So this is mine. Anyway, so we got rose quartz, money. So this is love and money. Negative, positive. That's my soul, because I feel like we all have shadows and light within us. This is my grounding stone, fire stone, water and air, and these were my two blanks. So how I read them is I have the person fill them full of their love and energy and throw them. I'll go fast just because we can go on to the next subject.
Yep.
But they're just little ones. But then again, I've had them where they've been big, and my lithomancy sets kind of just keep switching around. Like right now, that's what I have set aside, but next week it might be something different. So I'll say, since that rolled off the table, we're going to put it over there. That's just positive. It's not that you're not positive, it's that they just don't even need to discuss it with you. So when people throw stones and they fall off the table, it's not a bad thing in my opinion. It's just, hey, we don't really need to worry about that right now. So what your foundation for you is communication, which is obvious. You literally just been communicating with us on how to read lithomancy. So this is a snapshot of your energy right now. What I do think is cool is they're all kind of lined up right across from each other. I like that because it doesn't really mean anything except you're not holding anything overly more important than the other thing. You know what I mean? And I like that because we're talking spiritual, you are open and you're just like, let it all in, and you did a reading for me. So I think it's cool that it's reflecting like this. Does that make sense? Because you're kind of clear right now. But what it's showing is this is love. This is passion. There is a little bit of negativity in your love and passion, not in a bad way. That's normal life. We're supposed to have a little bit of, again, this is why my spirit stone is black and white, because we all live in the gray. So I'm not overly concerned about it. It's just to say, hey, don't forget, don't let a bad mood or aggravation come and affect your creativity, your passion around anything, and don't ever let it get into your love. This is your emotion. This is your water. Your creativity is tied to your emotion, which keeps you grounded. So how I look at that is, if you're allowed to have your emotion without fear of negative consequences, if you feel it, that's when you feel the most passionate. When you're not worrying about judgment or worrying about what anybody thinks. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's when you're most passionate. That's when you feel the most grounded. And when you're passionate and grounded, you make the most money. So if you feel off, your money suffers. But when you are on, your money is good. And then your just soul's right in line with everything else.
Yay.
But that's just a quick snapshot. That's kind of how you read the stones. So, but I just think it's cool that they're all in a line like that.
Well,
All right.
You cleansed me. That's what happens.
No, you cleansed you reading me. So what's next? Do we want to do your cards? These are the chakra cards?
Yes.
Oh, I have never seen these. I'm excited.
I have no idea. So these are they're really neat, but they are very, very, very different. So for example, last night, this is the card that I drew because I was curious.
22, Rise of the Nature Divas.
Yes.
These are wicked cool looking though.
They are very awesome. They jumped out at me. I had to get them.
Take a sip.
And I'm still trying to learn on what they do or the meaning behind it. But that was just dead on. So I have my little book here.
And that's the thing, a lot of people, do you mind if I pipe in while you're...
Go ahead.
A lot of people believe, like, oh, I can't read oracle cards like this if I don't know the meaning. Like, no, that's why a lot of them come with these little books. You know, you can pick it up and look it up. I do that a lot with my angel cards, even though I know the meaning, because I want it for myself, not intuitively. I just want to know what that card means.
Exactly, and that is exactly what I did. But with the Rise of Nature Divas, that's when I knew, okay, I'm getting more centered spiritually. And I knew right away with nature, I'm getting more connected, more grounded. I'm opening up more. And just by looking at the picture itself.
Yeah. It's a cool picture. They did a great artwork on these.
Let's see if I can pick it up.
I know it's this table.
There you go, pull it back. But it's beautiful artwork. That was this card. Yeah, why don't you shuffle?
Oh, we're going to shuffle them and then pick one? Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, shuffle and pick one.
I want to
We'll
like...
throw this one in there too.
I don't
So that was
want
number
to.
22. So I will tell the meaning.
Oh, let me see, close my
So-
eyes, what am I need?
With the Rise of Nature Divas, the keywords are nature, rebirth, reconnection, life, diversity, and interdependency. And that's exactly what's happening with me. I'm opening up. I'm going to my next level. I want to be there, but they're saying, hold
Yeah.
on, but you will get there.
Mine is 9 to 24? I can't see. I have my reading glasses on. You know you're over 40 when?
Oh, this is beautiful. You put a little of yourself into it too. Sacred Geometry of the Soul. It looks like that there's an angel.
I like that. Angels are my favorite.
There we go. Hopefully people can see that. The artwork, yeah, even on the back of them, is just beautiful.
Thank you.
That's number 24. Sacred Geometry of the Soul. Sacred geometry, cosmic patterning, unfolding, source codes, and oneness.
Nice.
There you are.
Sacred geometry is found throughout the natural world, from the smallest microscopic being to the greatest macroscopic objects on Earth, and still further out into the cosmic rotation of the shape and pattern throughout the natural world, points to the connections of all life, the oneness of being. The patterns and shapes are visual representations of the underlying source. It's pretty. I like it. That's cool, though. I like these.
I love it.
I've never seen them before.
So you can do a similar spread to what you were doing with the angel cards with the oracle cards. So
Yep.
you can do a past, present, future. You can do what we just did now. Just pick up a card and put your energy and see what it's telling you. Now with these cards, that is the best thing that they suggest you to do is shuffle, put your energy and draw it.
Yep.
And then take that card, since you have the Sacred Geometry of the Soul, take the card and meditate with it and draw that energy into your soul.
Yep.
Or picture it. A lot of people like a visual. That's why they have it here. And they'll put their hand over it and then feel the energy come off of it.
Yep.
So that's why they call them visions of the soul.
Pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, like I said, the artwork is just beautiful. Oops.
I always feel bad. I always stay seated.
Intuition. Ooh, this is a nice one. Stellar Getaway Chakra.
Ooh, I like it.
That's beautiful too.
It is pretty. They're all gorgeous. They did a good job.
I know. I really love this one because it has the angels right there. Spiritual Rebirth. Now this reminds me of Harry Potter, like the Rise of the Phoenix.
Oh, it does. That's
Yep.
nice. That's cool.
So there are oracle cards or tarot cards that you just absolutely love for the artwork, and you can appreciate that. You don't necessarily have to work with them all the time.
Yeah.
But I was just drawn to this, and it's been really fun just taking a card out and looking at it visually.
Yeah.
And it also tells me like heart chakra.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is actually really funny because I've been considering getting a heart chakra tattoo. It came to me in a dream.
Yeah.
So of course this is the card that just pops out.
That's awesome.
That's my confirmation right there.
Perfect. I love it. Those are really pretty. Thank you for sharing them.
Oh, of course.
And then I think the last divination tool we're going to talk about is the dowsing rods.
Yes, I will hand that over to you.
Nice.
I'll grab my dowsing rods as well.
So dowsing rods are just another form of divination that you can use. They work with energy similar to the pendulum that we reviewed last week. The dowsing rods themselves are typically just carbon. I've been thinking about carbon because of my son. I got him a piece of carbon at the fair. Anyway, copper, and they're literally just bent. They remind me of knitting needles because of the bend. Like they just look like bent knitting needles that have this little tube here, so you're not able to manipulate them. So if you hold them by here, then they will just move freely. You don't have to, you can't manipulate them. You're not able to turn them and make them move. The energy moves them. What they're most well known for is for people to find water sources in their land, because water creates energy and the rushing of the water. So when you go by a water source, the dowsing rods will cross, so somebody knows, okay, that's where I drill a well. So that's the way they used to do it. They used to do it with sticks. I've seen it do it anyway with the sticks. They, have gotten them better where here, because when you hold sticks, you have to hold them so lightly to let them kind of move. Do you know what I mean? So this is just a more, I want to say modern, but these have been around for a very long time. So But for divination purposes, the way I believe they work is that energy is energy. So if I use them to help with my mediumship readings. So I tell the person to think of somebody that they love, that they want to connect with, and then I'll ask the rods if they're here, right? And then I believe that the energy of the soul and the energy of the person that's in front of me, their energy is what ultimately moves it. That's how it's done in a, I guess, psychic way, or using it for mediumship. So, but a lot of people use them like the pendulum, just to get a simple yes or no or maybe. Most people can utilize the rods in that way. Back a few years ago, I used them in part of my white light seance ritual that I do to help bring people up and open them up spiritually in order to communicate and have experiences for themselves and not have to have me do it. Not that I don't mind doing it, but a lot of people want to know, feel the goosebumps, feel what it feels like when somebody presents themselves. They just want to have the experience. So I picked these up and they started moving more than just yes, no, and maybe. They work like sign language. So over the years and reading hundreds beyond hundreds of people before I would show, like I showed you them, before I'd actually show them to people, I had to make sure I believed. And I got to tell you, I believe. So maybe even so, when I'm using these rods, I want you to get real close to your screen and make sure I'm not moving my hands. I even have gone to the point of videotaping myself to make sure I'm not moving them. So anyway, so the dowsing rods work pretty good. I always envision myself in that beam of white light that I've spoke about. Some people like to do an egg. I will say when I'm communicating, I do the beam of white light because I want that my energy to go up into the sky and down into the earth, and I want a flow of energy from above me and below me. I don't want it just all around me. I know that sounds corny, but that's how I do it. So once I envision myself in a beam of white light, I always just have my spirit guide named Jen that's with me. I ask her if she's here, and she'll cross and tell me yes. So then I know, all right, my guide's here. I can now go ahead and use my dowsing rods. So let me show you some of the movements. All right, can you show me yes? And they cross. And then I say thank you, and they should open back up again. They're a little slow, probably because we're not doing an official reading. All right, can you show me no? And then they should open up a little bit. Thank you. Can you show me maybe? And they both move a little bit. So, and then some of the other words I know, and feel free to pipe in at any time. Any other words I know is, can you show me love? And they both go to the side. Hopefully they can see it good on the camera. Thank you. Can you show me I don't know? And just one of them goes. I feel like I just moved my hand though. So just that one starts to move a little quicker. Thank you. What's some other ones?
World.
Oh, part of the, like, universe, part of the world. Just one goes.
I like that one.
That was a big one. Are you going to come back at me, though? I felt like I moved. Oh, I just shook my hand. Positive is just the one goes. But then thank you is the positive, but then the top one moves. I feel like I moved that hand again. You're going to hear me say that. And when I do readings, I'm like, I moved my hand. I moved my hand. I just flicked. I flinched. It's so funny. Negative. It was telling me, no, you don't. Negative. And then sorry is the same as negative, but the top moves. It's pretty much the opposite of good and positive.
Laughter.
Jen, she's dying to laugh at me because she knows, she's like, I feel like she's messing with me. Like the energy isn't like as... So it's going really slow and methodical, but once you're in reading and really doing it, the things fly around so fast. So that's laughter. See how she's doing it ever so slowly? That's laughter, but when they're really laughing, it's like, they go all over the place. It's funny. They count. So if you want to count to 3, 1, 2, oops, I just moved my hand. 3. But I've seen them count. If it goes up higher, I'll sometimes have to, like, and this is coupled with your intuition. So I like it because it gives something physical and tangible that somebody can kind of look at while I'm giving the reading. So I can say, oh yeah, they look like they're about 20 years old, but sometimes they're like, well, what do the rods say? And I'll say, okay, are you going to count by fives, tens? So there's a little bit of communication when counting, because it's, if somebody's 50 when they passed, you don't want to sit there and count to 50. So I'll say, okay, can we count by fives? And the rods will say yes. So it's just another way for spirit to pick up. This moves with energy because nobody's holding on to them to make them not move. So it works well with mediumship because spirit is energy. Somebody's spirit coming in is energy. So that energy is able to flow through the rods and we can pick it up. I pretty much let them, oh, she's agreeing with me. I'm letting them send the energy through my hands is what's happening. Because I don't think somebody's there with their ghost finger and moving it side to side. It's not happening. It's a vibration. It's an energy.
She's right next to you. Sorry.
Jen, darling.
Yeah, she popped up.
So she was probably like, I was really in the middle of something else, and then you start asking me. So, were you in the middle of something else? Thank you though. So anyway, so whenever using the dowsing rods, I mean, everybody does them a little different. Do you want to show how you use them?
Very similar to how you do it. I envision myself in white light, a beam of white light. It's gotta beat me up.
That's right. Not to an alien ship, though.
That's another topic we have.
We'll definitely have to do that.
But that's for another time. Very similar to how you hold them.
Yep.
I just hold them up. I'm surprised they're not going all crazy. Sometimes they do, and then I have to kind of straighten them out. But my rods are different from yours because they will answer differently.
Yeah, and they should. Sorry, you just made me think of something. When I teach people to read dowsing rods, I'll show them how mine works, but it's a lot of times spending time with the rods and how the energy responds to you.
Right.
So you got to figure out what your words are.
So, can you show me yes? Thank you. Can you show me no? Sorry, they're moving slowly. They're usually
It's
a little
because we're
faster.
not in.
Thank you.
It's funny because whenever, even at the beginning of a reading, when I am doing a group and I explain the rods, my rods move slow. But when you're connected and you're in a full reading, they will fly all over the place.
That's
It's crazy how it works.
Thank you. I'm gonna say they're agreeing with you.
Yeah, it is.
They're whacking me.
And those that are watching this that have had readings, like with me with the dowsing rods, is pretty cool. And if you're holding the rods and you have a group of people in front of you, and you say, point to Leslie, they move and point to Leslie. It's so cool. Look, they're moving to point to Leslie. Let's say, ready? All right, straighten them out. All right, can you point to Leslie in the room? So they'll point. It's just neat. It's just neat.
Can you point to Jennifer Garland?
Oops, I just moved my hand. But yes, that's where Garland is. But I think they're cool.
I'm still working on mine, so I'm still trying to
think
get
you're getting
that
great.
form. Yes, I've been working with them and figuring that out and
Yeah.
trying to put more and more of my energy. And the more I work with them, right, the more energy I'll be able to connect with.
Yeah, because what it is you basically have to release the energy of your hands. You have to say, I give permission for that energy to go through your hands, which is very foreign if you think about it. Like a lot of people, there's so many different things out there for communication, but some people do what's called trance channeling. And what trance channeling is the person almost kind of separates themselves and allows spirit to speak through them, and then that person has no memory of it, because it's like they say, hey, use my body, my breath, my mouth, my everything for communication. That's like a tough order. I mean, you may not be nervous about it. I'm not doing that. But to let go of your hands and say, hey, go ahead and without putting your energy into it, you got to let the energy of spirit go through your hands. It's a little different. It takes time to do it.
That's the hard part, is you're not putting your energy, you're letting spirit and giving them permission
Yeah.
to move it. And that was hard for me to do that, because I was trying to put my own energy into it, and it kind of moved a little bit. Now I realize. Yeah, and they were laughing at me.
Yeah, so
they're just laughing at me now. Thank you.
mine's laughing too. That's funny. So yeah, because like I can, I'm sure it's not just me, but like I can say, okay, show me yes, and now I'm moving them. I'm putting my energy in these ones. Do you know what I mean? So you can control it, but I'm pretty much stuck with yes or no's with my controlling it, if that makes sense. The very precise movements of yes, no, maybe, good, thank you, sorry, negative, counting, spirit, I don't know, chaos, like all the different words that we have with these rods.
Ooh.
So I know I can't make them move in that way, if that makes sense. So I have watched a lot on TikTok, because a lot of people that know me and even friends of mine think I should do readings on TikTok with dowsing rods. And someday I'm gonna. If you're watching this, you know who you are that really wants me to. However, I'm that type of person where I'll like do hashtag TikTok dowsing rods, and there's so many people that pick it apart. And one person I'll never forget, I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into it. And I looked into it, and somebody had paint rollers they were holding on to, and they were doing dowsing rod readings with paint rollers, but they were making fun of dowsing rods, because they're like, okay, am I going to win the mega bucks? And it was going, yes, it was funny, hats off, made me laugh hysterically. However, what it is they say it's bull, because if I move my hands ever so slightly, let's see if you can see me move them, if I move my hands up, ever so slightly, I can make them open. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then if I move them ever so slightly down,
You can make them close.
I can make them close. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? So, but you're just not going to be able to manipulate them in all the different directions that I know I utilize them. I'm not moving them. If I am really good at my manipulation with dowsing rods, and I'm not that good. So
No, you're not. You're not manipulating them.
So, but anyway, that's dowsing rods. I don't know what else. Like, if we have any other divination right off the bat that we need to talk about.
I don't think so. I'll look in my wonderful.
Look at this. Put this up here and show everybody. Look at this box. I want a box. Isn't that beautiful? It even has like heart stones. Like, that's labradorite. Is that tiger eye? That looks like amethyst. That looks like sodalite. I could be wrong. I have my glasses on, but that's beautiful. And where did you get this box?
My husband made it for me.
Yes, Leslie's husband is an amazing craftsman.
You'll see some of the works at the craft fair in May. Do you want to plug that real quick?
Oh yes, May 6th at the Rochester, New Hampshire Legion from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are doing the Underground Minerals Vendor and Craft Fair, and we have about 50 different tables that will be there. And they're local crafters that make the most magnificent things, to obviously woodworkers. We're going to have psychic readers, people doing Reiki, people doing henna tattoos with Reiki, or photography people. Many people that make their own candles. A lot of people who do that sublimation, where they take artwork and then put it on, whether it's tumblers, sweatshirts, t-shirts. We have another couple that's married that are going, that does energy work together. Like, it is so eclectic group that I think it's going to be something for everybody there. So anyway, May 6th, American Legion in Rochester, New Hampshire. But
And if you have any questions, you can always comment.
yeah, we'll answer them. Look, our rods are friends. Okay, sorry, guys.
So, yeah, and I will be there. And with the stones, I just love this. Yes, I had to have an amethyst.
It's embedded in
lapis.
there.
Yes, he was able to cut it out, like hand cut it in the shape of the stone and drop it in there. And I just love the little charm here. I'm moon energy. What can I say?
I'm blown away by him. Blown away.
And then here, I just keep all my notes or all my tools. I have some aura clearing spray. I have some oils, good vibes.
Yeah.
I like this because this mixture.
Yeah, I
It
love
just
those oil rolls.
lifts up the spirit. It helps calm people, especially with Reiki. It helps them connect and center, and then they don't have to worry about it. And then I also have some more stones in here, some ones I picked up from the shop.
Yeah, can I touch the box?
Oh, go ahead. You can. I think you remember
stunning.
this. And then you remember this one.
I do. I love it.
I love the clear quartz, especially for Reiki.
Yeah, it's true.
When anybody comes in and they're nervous about their reading or they're not sure, this just cleanses them immediately.
Awesome.
They hold it and there you go. And this was a gift from Stacy. I just love the moonstone. A lot of people
That is a
don't
nice
know.
moonstone, palm stone. Is that from this year?
Yeah, Jeff got that.
Underground minerals.
A lot of people don't know that moonstone has some black pieces in it, just
Yeah,
like
I
their
love it.
soul.
That's what I love. It's what I know. I love it when it's the white and black together. I love it. It's about balance. Like, I'm sorry, none of us are wicked, the purest of pure. None of us are the wicked of wicked. We are a balance. I always say we have 1 foot in shadow, 1 foot in light. We're walking the line.
Let's see, here I have my tarot deck.
Nice.
And then this was the book we mentioned last week. This is the tarot book. Here you go, you can
nice.
touch that.
Yeah.
And that is the one that has a little bit more of the meanings of each picture.
Yeah, these are good to have.
It's very nice.
Especially I like it when you want your intuition out of it and you just want to pull the cards for yourself. It's nice to pull it and not try to think anything intuitively and just read the meanings, and then you'll get a vibe as to which one's meant for you as you read it. So I keep the little book with mine, but most of the time I just use it for myself.
Now, when you are reading cards for yourself, is there a possibility of putting your own energy to manipulate it? I've heard this before.
Yeah, if you can, because your energy's moving it. So I always try to just say, I'm shuffling these. Please tell me what it is I need to know. Not what I want to know, what I need to know. And then that's why I'll grab the book. So I'm not, my ego isn't getting involved. You know what I'm saying? So I'll read the book. And sometimes, too, I'll be doing a reading and I'll be like, this card is so important right now. Like, I don't even care what I think it means. You need to hear what the actual meaning is of this card. And I'll pull the book out because I feel like I need to say it.
And it's a great
It's a nice
guiding
book,
point, too, when you're not as confident. Because this
Yeah,
and
you
then the
can
little
always pull the book out.
pamphlet, yeah.
Always.
And you helped me with that too, because when I started reading tarot, I'm channeling, I'm learning to channel,
Yeah.
trying to hear it. Now I hear spirit and I'm able to channel, but before it was scary.
It is. And sometimes you just need to reassurance, like, okay, I'm getting this off this card. Now go to your book and double check yourself, because you can't have your teacher with you 24/7. The books are great tools, I think.
And that's what helped give me confirmation.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I knew that this card had this meaning, and it just told me that it had this meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta listen. And then these are my angel cards, the magical
Oh,
unicorn
the
cards.
unicorn ones. Let's see which one I just have. I am presence. 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 Expand your stellar gateway. I am that I am, which is funny because I am practicing presence techniques all day, every day. I am the presence queen. Somebody asked me about that today because I have my own bit of medical issues going on, and my boss came up to me today from my day job. Wonderful woman, sweetest woman I've ever met. And she's like, how are you handling everything? And I go, perfect. What do you mean? I forget sometimes. Like, oh yeah, that's right, I do. Oh, sorry, yeah. I practice presence. I said I literally live in the moment. I am very big on that. So it's just funny that it came up.
That is
Living in the moment, the now. I always say you have to visit the past to understand the presence, but you don't have to live in the past. And you also have to plan for the future, because you need to set goals and spend time focusing on those goals, but you don't live in the future. You live right now. So analyze the past to understand the present and plan for the future, but live in the now. That's how I do it.
And I love these, very similar to your angel cards. They just tell you right what is
beautiful,
on there.
too.
Or you can look at the deeper meaning, and they have the spread of the past, present, future. They have their own oracle spread as well. I pulled caring community, participate and belong, enrich your life.
I love it.
And that was perfect with what I was doing and getting in touch. And they're trying to push me into that community more.
Yep.
And I will be there at the craft fair on May
Yeah.
6th. So you'll be able to see me and meet me in person.
That'd be perfect.
And opening myself up to that community. And I have that surrounding community with love.
That's perfect.
Open up my love spot.
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about Love Spot today.
We haven't. We were talking about the tools. And next week, would you like to continue a part 3 on the tools?
I'm not sure what
Or do
else
you-
we have.
I know we had the mirrors. We had the scrying.
Oh yeah, Darcy, I'm living in the moment. Forgot it. We even talked about that.
We did.
Yes, we'll talk about magic mirrors. I'll talk about the magic mirror workshop and how you can make your own magic mirror. And we'll talk about scrying mirrors, which I have gifted all my scrying mirrors because I, like you, if there's a call for me to gift, I will gift it. So I'll need to, if I have time this week, I'll make myself a new scrying mirror, but I'll at least tell you guys how to make your own.
And I'll bring my crystal ball.
Yeah, we'll definitely play with that crystal ball.
I'm still learning and playing around with it, but Stacy will know.
Yeah, they're great meditation tools. But we'll go over it. So
And then was there another one?
who knows? There's so much.
I know. Oh, automatic writing. That was the other one.
Yeah, so we might have to keep going.
So, well, next week we'll cover another 3.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where it goes from there.
Perfect. I love it.
Wonderful.
Thank you for watching and listening to us.
Thank you again, and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. This has been a presentation by Leslie Albano and Stacy Lynn Shepherd. Like, follow, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, The Underground Channel. This has been sponsored by Underground Minerals and more. Check out the website at undergroundminerals.com. Come get stoned with us.